You cannot tell what the shape of things will be, how they will turn out. But in the end, everything turns out just fine. You see. I told a story one time of one king. He was not a particularly wise king, but his real blessing was his counselor. Yeah, the counselor was very wise, the king not so wise. But he was wise enough to know that he has a wise counselor. So everywhere the king goes, the counselor goes with him. Everywhere. And the counselor seemed to always have a very positive outlook on things. Anything happened, sometime the counselor would say, "This is not bad, my lord." And the king would believe like this, and like this. So it so happened that one morning, everywhere the counselor goes, except in the bathroom or something, he would wait outside. And then everywhere the king goes, the counselor is there. So one morning the king was getting out of bed, and he was a plump chap, and he was sliding into his royal slippers on these marble floors, and he slipped on the ground and landed on his elbow, and it smashed open, like, and he's in such pain. The whole palace could hear him screaming, like this. Then he shout first thing, before even queen, he shout, "Counselor!" Quickly the counselor come, "My lord, what?" He says, he said, look what's happened. What happened to my arm? See, what happened? Oh, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Like this. The counselor looked, says, "It is good, my lord." The king was very upset. He says, "How could you say something like that? Look how much it hurts. How can you say, get away from me?" He was very angry. He called guards. The guards come. "Take him away." They took the counselor down step into the dungeon. They put him and lock it. Poor counselor sits. Counselor sits down and he's there. So the king stays in bed now. He could not go anywhere for a while. It's still hurting. They bandaged his arm, everything. So after 1 week passed, he could not bear sitting there just waiting for this arm to heal. He got up one morning. He was feeling much better. Feels better. And he felt, no, I have to get some fresh air. And he felt like riding. He loved riding. So he called to get the royal horses. One horse saddled up, his favorite horse, white horse, saddled up. And he put on his robes. And they brought him to his horse. And he mounted the horse. And immediately, and he goes, and he's enjoying. Oh, wonderful. Counselor still in jail. So off the king goes, and he goes for a very long way. And this morning he's especially felt like not stopping. And he's galloping. And going. Until he come to the edge of his own kingdom. He came like that. And then now he didn't even realize that. But he's again in a strange land going. And along the way he sees a white deer and he's captivated. He slows the horse down. He's looking at this deer. He didn't see a tree branch. Okay, and he falls off like that. And then quickly he is captured by a tribe of cannibals. Okay? He's captured, and they capture the king. And then somehow they're taking him back to the village. And he's terrified. He could see that they're cannibals. They're going back. And they already send message to the village. We've got a fat one coming. You see? He's coming. And they start to play. And they're dancing. And they're building a big fire. Big fire. Big king. So they put him inside one room for a minute, and there's a big celebration going, you see. And of course he's totally terrified. You can see he's looking through the wall of the hut, looking out, and you see they're preparing a big skewer. No. So he's terrified. And So then come the moment they came for him, you see. And they're pulling him and, no, and they're taking him to the fire, you know. I'm sure somebody's got some black pepper and everything to put, a bit of salt. Anyway, they're pulling him and he's going on his most terrible, most terrifying moment, if you can imagine. They're pulling him, and at the last minute now, they're about to bring him right to the fire. They're pulling, and his sleeve came off. And they saw the bloody elbow. And suddenly, stop, they look. Everybody, big disappointment. He's imperfect, I cannot sacrifice him. So he's also a little bit, what's going on? So they are very disappointed, and looks very juicy as well. You see? So then they all took him to the horse, they pushed him onto his horse, slapped the horse. The king is hanging on. He's completely traumatized by the experience. After a long time, he finds himself back in his own kingdom. And he's exhausted. They took him off his horse. Your Majesty, what happened? They took him to his room, and he collapses completely out of just the impact of all of this. Then he's beginning to reflect how lucky he is. And then you remember the counselor's word, "This is good, my Lord." Then you remember the counselor. My counselor, he's been in jail for over 1 week. Innocent. So immediately he himself goes down into the dungeon. Take me, quick. I must see my counselor, you see. So they took him down, and then they opened the door, and the counselor is sitting. Right? Oh, counselor. Oh, my Lord, Your Majesty, he says. He says, oh, what have I done? Oh, what is the problem? He says, oh, you are so good. You are my best counselor. Oh, 1 week ago when I damaged my arm, you said it was good. And I was so angry with you, I could not see. You see? And now he told him the story. You see, look at that. It turned out to be good for me. But you were locked up. How did it turn out to be good for you? You see, you say it's good for me. How is it? The counselor stopped. He says, well, my Lord, I am always with you. So when you went out riding, wherever that would have been, I would have been with you. And they would have captured both of us. And when they see that they could not sacrifice you, then they would sacrifice me. So it was good for me to be here in jail. Okay? Huh? So the point of this story is that you don't know how things are going to turn out. Sometimes we are making premature conclusions. Oh, this is so bad. And says, just keep quiet and don't wait. Trust in life, and you see. The more quiet you are, the more you see things as they really are. And when you see things as they are, your heart will be filled with gratitude, and you'll grow in wisdom for that. The mind is always acting prematurely, always too quick to make a judgment, and always misinterpreting things. You see. So what may seem sometimes to be life being challenging, if you keep quiet, your mind will open up and work in another way, and you begin to see the beauty that perhaps when you're in so-called a better situation, you would not have been appreciating the much more subtler,
When you are not doing anything at all, bodily, mentally, on no level, when all activity has ceased and you simply are, just being, that's what meditation is. You cannot do it, you cannot practice it. You have only to understand it. And whenever you can find time for just being, and drop all doing. Thinking is also doing, concentration is also doing, contemplation is also doing. Even for a single moment, if you are not doing anything and you are just at your center, utterly relaxed, that is meditation. And once you have got the knack of it, you can remain in that state as long as you want. You can remain into that state finally 24 hours. Once you have become aware of the way how being can remain undisturbed, then slowly you can start doing things, keeping alert that being is not stirred. That is the second part of meditation. First, learning how just to be, and then learning little actions, cleaning the floor, taking a shower, but keeping yourself centered. Then you can do complicated things. For example, I am speaking to you, but my meditation is not disturbed. I can go on speaking. But at my very center, there is not even a ripple. It is just silent, utterly silent. So meditation is not against action. It is not that you have to escape from life. It simply teaches you a new way of life. That you become the center of a cyclone. Your life goes on, it goes on really more intensely, with more joy, with more clarity, more vision, more creativity. Yet you are aloof, just a watcher on the hills, simply seeing all that is happening around you. You are not the doer, you are the watcher. That's the whole secret of meditation, that you become the watcher. Doing continues on its own level, there is no problem. Chopping wood, drawing water from the well, you can do all small and big things. Only one thing is not allowed, and that is your centering should not be lost. That awareness that watchfulness should remain absolutely unclouded, undisturbed. Meditation is a very simple phenomenon.
Remember from time to time to notice that you're breathing. And this looks like something insignificant, but it is highly significant, because if you really notice that you're breathing, not like the mind does. The mind says, am I breathing? Yes, I'm breathing. Notice means bring your attention to it. Air moving in. Just one conscious in and out breath, and a different dimension is there in your life. Just one conscious in and out breath. Do that 20 times a day. 2 conscious in and out breaths, even better. 3. So your day, whenever you go to the bathroom, whenever you go in the elevator, rather than look at a person and say, should I say something or not? So, it's cold today, isn't it? Because you feel uncomfortable with not saying anything. Be comfortable with just being and breathe. And not look forward to the end of the in-breath. It's a mental habit. Always already wanting to be at the end. Be present, as they say in meditation practice, be present at every step of the breath. You're just there at every step. In-breath. There's no thought when you're present with your breath. No thought. Otherwise you can't be present. So it is extremely significant, because really, as I said, I haven't actually put it in these words before. When you are aware of your breath, what you're really aware of is you're aware of awareness. So that's the beauty of it. And what that means is you've entered the dimension of presence, and this is space has opened up in your life, space. So in your daily life, use your breath. Even just one is fine, just one